received one expression of interest.
And
So we have only one applicant
from
Mr. Afreh.
Okay, so Mr. Afreh, David is here this morning because he applied for the position of executive secretary. Mr. Afreh, you are most welcome. I guess this is a house that you are well into, and the house also knows you very well. However, for the sake of the interview, we would like you to tell us a bit about yourself. If you know, we know you by name, and we know you by face, and we know you also by deed. Yes, Lord. Yes, boss. Okay, sir. That's a very good idea.
My boss.
And let's Good morning. All right. But before you go, I want you to give your opening remark.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
And gentlemen. I don't know how many ladies.
2 ladies here, sir. One on the way coming.
Come again.
2 ladies here, one on the way coming, please.
Okay, very good. So, my salutation is correct. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
So, the partnership has come to a place where we need capable persons who can steer the affairs to build structures into the future. Thanks to the acting executive secretary, they have been doing very, very well. Going into the future, we will need persons who are capable of organizing, capable of fronting the face of stock-taking partnership in the gateway of the international partners. In fact, this is the way to go, as well as managing the portfolio of the in-country activities. And therefore, it is critical that when we get this opportunity to interview, we must scrutinize and get the best. And I'm happy that candidate Afreh has put out this recommendation. And let's scrutinize it and let's perform, let's give him the best so that he can perform. And he goes on to partnership. This is my brief remark. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I think I resonate, everything you say resonates with me because you are right. The acting executive secretary has done his best over the time, combining 2 jobs of an MAE and of course a space secretary. And that has been very awesome, all the way done. But now, moving forward, like you said, we need someone who also carry us not only at the local front, but take us also onto the regional level and even up to the global level. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are all welcome here. I guess this meeting or this engagement will not go beyond 1 hour, except if the questions become too many and the answers become too prolonged, which I'm not expecting. However, let us be very open, let us be very sincere, let us have the partnership at the back of our mind, and all questions that we're asking should go to filling, potholes that we have identified within the structure of the partnership. And on that note, Mr. Afreh, like Doctor said, he is not the name Afreh. The Afreh he knows is not too sure that is the one that is seated before us here. And since we have confirmed, let us still confirm further to know if you are the one and not this guy. Because I guess Isaac and Esau, right? Something happened where Ishmael and where one person disguised to be the other. We don't know. The person wears a clothes that you are used to. He has a down haircut that you always do. He has that rounded mustache with a beard that you have developed with two dimples on both cheeks. Yes, we are not too sure if the innermost person is still David Afreh. So please, who is David Afreh? You have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much. My own chair. colleagues. Yes, it's still me, David Kwesi Afreh. Just exited from board chairman of the Stocks Partnership. I've been in the system for quite a long time, working since 2005. It's about 19 years, 20 years of experience working in civil society. Working within the civil society space. As a fundraiser, I've done advocacy at the levels of continental and global space. I'm married with 4 kids, 3 giant boys, and a Christian, and about 45 years old. Thank you, Jay.
All right, thank you very much. Doctor, I hope you heard it. Doctor, I hope you heard it.
Yes, it's there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, so now that he's been able to describe who he is, this is how the flow is going to be. I guess we'll give everybody an opportunity to ask a question. I mean, 2 each, and then we can flow like that. But in that respect, to ask Doctor if he has any question to be placed before the gentleman seated before us. Doc. Hello, Doctor. Yeah.
So, we have started the interview.
Yes, please.
Have we started the interview?
Yes, please.
Right. Mr. Afreh, you have a long-term association with the Stock TV Partnership. So, in that institution, we take the as a sole institution, because that is the position where the person can be very strategic, that can support the institution. In this one talking about in the Stock TV Partnership. So what is your strategic role that you will play if you are giving the role? What strategic role are you going to play over?
Thank you so much, Chairman. And I love the opportunity to answer this question. The Stock Partnership as a secretary is the holder of the portfolio of mission. The mission is clear in the Constitution. We're supposed to ensure that we galvanize support of stakeholders, funds, portfolios, donors, partners who are interested in NETV across the nations. And so the Stock Partnership as a secretary is supposed to ensure that you are able to lead strategic plan development. You are supposed to ensure that you are able to galvanize resources for the implementation of these strategic plan of partnership. And by doing so, you are solely responsible to ensure that we have strong staffing, we have strong staff capacity, we have strong systems in place, we have strong monitoring systems that will put confidence in the donors, in the partners, to ensure that we help the vision of NDTV in Ghana by NTP to be achieved. And so the strategic goal is very clear. We need to ensure that we are galvanizing civil society, we are galvanizing donors, we are galvanizing all that matter in support of the TV program. So leading this role will mean that you need to be visionary, you need to be ready to work extra hours, you need to be ready to build strong relationships with institutions, you need to build strong relationships with civil society, you need to build strong relationships with the private sector, which is also available for resource tapping. And so we need to go into resource mobilization, we need to go into relationship building, we need to go into strong system building. And so the vision is becoming clear in the short term to make sure that the Stock Partnership become an external of the global fund and moving towards becoming the PR. If that is an arrangement that is agreed between the NTP, and the partnership. Thank you. I hope that answers to some extent.
Hello, Doc.
Thank you very much.
You want to have a follow-up question, please?
No, I'm okay. Let's go.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'll take the bull by the horn. I want to move away from the Stop TB partnership moving, and I want to delve into the global arena. TB is part of the Sustainable Development Goals. At which level do you see Stop partnership feeding into the SDGs, and which of the goals do we fit into?
The Stop Department, TB is health issue, so it falls within the goal 3 of the SDGs. So, where it fits, the most important is that WHO is so interested in NDTB. So, that is why WHO has been part of the mobilization and organization of the Stop Partnership. And that is what has given birth to all the country platforms. So, where we are now, it is becoming really clearer that TB is receiving more resources because the leadership at the global level is galvanizing so much. And so we are looking at opportunities around Bill Gates, opportunities around French 5 Initiative, we are looking at opportunities around the USAID, and PNZ of Germany is also coming on board. So where we are now, it's clear that TB is receiving a lot of attention at the global level. And so we are most likely to tackle TB, to end it by 2035 as it's concluded. We may not be able to achieve all the goal 3, that is the goal 3 is a huge health issue. Talking about from universal health coverage to every disease you can mention even around the global farm. The pandemics are looming and all of that. But then it is becoming clear that TB is receiving a lot of international attention. And so it's just important for us at the country level to become positioned enough to tap into these global opportunities that are there. I think that is the role I think in the next 1, 2, 3 years, I should be able to put this sort of partnership with the producer that we can fit in and take in more and help NTB in Ghana. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Doug, if you are still there, we have the last person we're expecting to join this table, in the person of Honorable Jane. Honorable Jane just joined us. So now we have 3 ladies against 3 guys, against 1 man. So it's 3-3 against 1. So Doug, Honorable Jane is here.
So can I speak on Honorable James?
Yes, please. Please carry thoughts for Honorable James to be visible in a local regalia of traditional leadership. Doug, you seem to like evidence-based. Wow, I like you for that. Yeah. Okay, so we are progressing. Dave, you have given me some spectacle of the SDGs as to do with the goal 3, and particularly zeroing down on the interests of the tobacco business. The last time we were at the CCA with you, about the second last time the country team were in town, and clearly Nico was of concern that issues of TB and health will soon be relegated to the backdrop because climate change is the real picture now at the global level. How do you see Stop TB dovetailing itself into climate change, and how can we tap into the resources of climate change for ending tuberculosis by 2035? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairman. I think this is clear. Nicole is letting us know that it's also resonating global funding too. The thinking is around the global fund also, looking at how climate change is impacting health and how it could even impact TB level. And so the Stop partnership is very much positioned now. The most important thing here is that we have a national structure. We have a national TB program. We have a national strategic plan. The national strategic plan doesn't really have anything that has to do with environment yet. So what it means is that going forward, the social partnership will need to advocate with sincerity of data to see how we, with our structure of having more than 100, 200 NGOs working with us at the district level, where the issue of environment will be needed for advocacy and others, are brought into the strategic plan. Because take it or leave it, you cannot go implementing environment and TV if you don't align it in the strategic plan. So we will need to get a national TV advisory board, a national TV program, and WHO in country to buy into supporting maybe a redefining of the strategic plan so that we align it with environment. And once we align that with environment, one, it becomes an issue that we can table on the table of the, even during the mid-term review of the GC7. Or if we don't succeed in that, then we have another space to do a stronger advocacy in GC8 concept note. Because it is clear the global fund is the one bringing it. And so how can countries align their strategic plan to be able to tap into this? And so I suspect that global fund itself will likely begin to tap funds from the global facilities into the global fund space. So they align their implementing partners with health, environment. And so I think we need to begin to conscientize our NGOs. We need to conscientize our board, the all need to have this, the secretariat needs to have this understanding. So we must build a cascade of capacities in understanding how we can fulfill health programming with environment. Once this happens, we should be making headway. I think that should be the way to go.
All right, thank you very much. Rana, I'll leave the ball now to who is ready to ask a question, please. What did you say? You want to ask me? So,
Madam Chairman, very grateful to see you on board. Seated in front of me is Afreh. As a party, but today there's no party. It's going to be tough. So, your preliminary response is great ones, but I'd like to know on the deliverables, okay? The first 2 years, how many, can you cite at least 4 deliverables that you can have them done in the next 2 years? And number 2, when you become if you get the nod, which means you're going to play an oversight role on the secretariat with respect to the membership that the partnership controls, the accounts and all that things. So I want to find out with how well you've worked and then attained the level of being a board chair, how well will you be able to cope with the position of the role of an ES, where a member will be calling you, asking and demanding for responses, whereby you know that this response, you should know, the members here should know what to do. They're not calling you at this point in time because you've attained a certain height. So you build their capacity over the years. So the repetitions of some crossings or errors will be very hard for you to contain. So how will you be able to manage such things? That's my two questions. Thank you very much.
yeah, so the board is in your court, Mr. Afreh. Your deliverables first.
Thank you so much. So for the deliverables, it's clear. A lot of work has even been done around that. We need to look at system review. And so in the next 6 months, before this year ends, we need to have a report on the review of the partnership. And this is already budgeted and supported by Geneva, if approved. I think the approval should have been there already. And so one, we need to have a report of a review, a comprehensive review of the partnership. And this report is supposed to give us clear recommendations on governance restructuring. It's supposed to give us clear recommendations on administrative restructuring. It's supposed to give us clear recommendations on resource mobilization. If you take that away, you are looking at how do we review the strategic plan. In the next 2 years, we must have a clear strategic plan that is speaking to TB advocacy, speaking to TB case finding, speaking taken now to TV and environment. In the next 2 years, we are looking at how tough the Secretariat is clearly strong. Have we had a set of staff that are able to run the program well? And so now we have an account, we need to have a strong ME, we need to have a strong program coordination. And now because we are 97 implementing, and if we bring private sector in, there are possibilities of expansion. The truth is that we need more than one accountant. And so we may need to have one accounting officer, we may need to have an additional project officer, we may need to have additional monitoring officer. And so we can have heads of department and other supporting staff. In the next 2 years, I think that is a strategic delivery. While the Secretariat is sorted and you have a review of the partnership and you have recommendations to follow, you should be looking at how the Constitution therefore is also reviewed. That would be another strong delivery. Maybe if more opportunities is given to people to understand, they might begin to let us align the stock-tree partnership with the structures of that of Geneva, especially when there is a lot of rancor that happens around electoral period and all of that, giving us a seemingly peddling of repetition of mistakes that we do. The other one has to do with coping with the position of the men. What's probably we need to know now is that the position of the board chairman is a simple one. You're supposed to be chairing board meetings and you're supposed to do advocacy when it's time for maybe press statements and some media advocacy, you do it. But because in the last 6 years we haven't had the opportunity to have an executive secretary, I was virtually playing the role of both the chairman and the executive secretary. And that is what has brought me so much into the limelight. If we had a strong executive secretary supporting me and the rest, you would have seen me more into this. So then what it actually means is that we are going to have a better realignment. The man that has been doing most of the strategic thinking, the technical thinking and workout is now back to do what he's been doing and not paid. And probably now be rewarded to do it. Because then as chairman you work and you are not entitled to anything. The Constitution doesn't even allow you to be paid for doing what you do. And so you are not supposed to be on salary. And so if I have been working with the people and all these years and I've received a lot of calls, I almost wanted to move on. And so if you ask Emmanuel, I was telling him, if we could get 1 or 2 people who would apply and we can have a trust on them, I will not apply. But then it ended up that people just thought we couldn't apply. So I said, okay, also do it. I don't have a problem with coping with anything, sincerely speaking. It is my work. And how can I ensure that we pool resources from the global level? For the partnership, because I've taken TV as my business. I've taken TV as my area of focus for life. If I move from here, sit down in parliament or I'm in ministry where I preach gospel anyway. And so I am fine.
Okay. So, do you have any follow-up questions based on the answers I received? For me, I see the deliverables as very clear, but the components of the second question, because right now, you have been in the position of a chairman before, you understand? And then people were reporting to you one or the other, and then you were giving directions, strategic directions, or whatever. But now you are going to report. You are going to be giving directions, supports, and that kind of thing. And you don't see any difference or any difficulty in that terrain. By coming down now as a secretary from the very top, as a chairman, where you always have your way. But now that you are going to be in a kind of a jacket, structure, don't you think there's going to be any kind of a difficulty in operationalizing your office?
Oh, thank you so much. I think professional work and advocacy work are two different things. if you are supposed to be paid to do what you do, you have rules and regulations that govern that. If you are acting as the politician, there are rules and regulations that govern that. And so when you have been a member of parliament, and now you are not in parliament, but you have become a chief director of parliament, the work you do is different from the work you do as an advocate on the floor of parliament. And so for me, it's about understanding the professional dynamisms and doing what we have to do professionally. It has nothing to do with power play. I mean, the board chairman is the board chairman, and their roles are clearly different. And so, could anything be the reason? For me, what I rather see is a better alignment where the former board chairman actually understands the rules of the game. And so, because you have a better understanding of the rules of the game, you know how not to act ultra vires. You know when the chairman is supposed to do what he has to do. So you don't step beyond your boundaries. So for example, you cannot, as a secretary, go and organize a press conference and talk about things on partnership. Yeah, that is the sole prerogative of the board chair. Unless the board chairman takes a decision at the board level and says that this particular activity, which should have been my voice, I want the deputy to do it to another board member, or it should come to the secretariat. Otherwise, it's clear-cut different responsibilities that I think the most important is having the understanding. And I think I've had that understanding over and over again in many spheres.
Okay. You still want to. All right. So you have asked.
Yeah,
you have asked 2 questions. So you can go through all the questions and answers that have been provided. Do you want to ask any question that will deepen the answers already given, or you have a new set of questions to ask? Please, you have the floor.
Okay, a follow-up. You know, within the past, there are very strong and difficult people. And some have been with us for a long time. Some you might have stepped on their toes. Some might have stepped on your toes. This time when you're going to work with them, how do you handle such people?
Yeah.
So thank you so much. It's professional work. See, when evidence is the rule of the game, passions are thrown away. And if you have known me over the year, you will know that I have dealt with on my office and my personality outside emotions. I look at decisions that are based on the evidence and the And so if we are going to be somebody might imagine that they are stepping on his toes. Somebody called me yesterday and said, Chairman. I said, sorry, I'm not chairman. I said, former chairman. I said, sorry. I said, I have been removed from the grant. I said, if you have been removed from the grant, then there's an evidence. Nobody hates you. I don't think the new chairman hates you. I don't think the secretariat hates you. So I'm sure they communicated to you what you have done. He said, I said, it's okay. If you have any challenges, talk to the chairman. I don't have the capacity to answer the questions. It is evidence. If we are working and there are departments responsible for the work, you are supposed to submit financial report, you are supposed to submit data report, you are supposed to submit a narrative report, and there are officers under the secretariat who are responsible for this. It is these officers that report to the secretary. The people don't report to the secretary directly. It is the human beings that are working under the heads of the department and the secretary who deal with these people. And the dealing with them has to do with 2 things: communication and assessment. So we collect reports and they assess those reports and they give their recommendations to the secretary, who carries it as a report composite, and it is given to board for decision. If the processes, the governance structures are working, and you are using evidence to take decisions, and people are being brought on board, people are being taken away because of non-performance. And what happens when somebody will think that I am hated, I also experienced one funny thing when somebody was telling Chairman Agbozo that the people who didn't vote for him, he was removing them. And he told the person, so my competitor, is he also removed?
Yes.
Because we were two who contested. And you are hearing in the system that Chairman Agbozo is removing those who didn't vote for him. So you see, he just used a simple evidence. Oh, so did I also remove the one contested with me? The police. Don't listen to people. The system is working. And so for me, if the systems are working, the board is taking decisions, management is giving appropriate information for appropriate policies, formulation, and management decisions are being taken and are being implemented. What is the secretary's business? And we need to get this also clear. It's personalities, capacity building will be done. People will need to, those who don't understand things, will need to understand. The partnership has reached a stage where we cannot go by, you are my friend, you are my brother, you are my sister. If you are not ready to follow the rules of the game, so we end TV in Ghana, you cannot follow us. People should be made to understand that we are not giving money for free. If you are giving money to go and work and there's evidence to show that you have not worked, whether you are a wife of a chairman or a girlfriend to a board member or a sex partner or presiding secretary, forget about it. The evidence will go against you. When we go to the bedroom, we can do what we do. But the official work is guided by evidence. And so for me, I see no challenges at all. I rather see capacity come into play. I see people coming to be shaken up, to realign and understand that look, there is a new leadership. The chairman is ready to make sure that full capacity to drive the business of the team. And for me, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Do you think we need a comprehensive review of our constitution? And why?
Yes, so we have had a constitution that has been there since 2019. So 2020 to 2023, 24, it's about 5 years. Yes, we might not need a comprehensive, but we may need to do a review. The way we elect our leaders, the composition of the board, and I feel the structures are limited. Where I sit and by the experience I have from the continental and global level, if you ask me to review the constitution, one platform I will bring to the governance structure will be a supra board. So the current executive board should have a board higher than them, and that board will be made up of development partners. So you see the current board chairman may end up chairing a higher board. So that will not be a board that meets every quarter, because it will not be an executive board. It will be a board that is supposed to speak to programs and financing. So you are looking at how can we bring Agama, how can we bring Anglo Ashanti, how can we bring National Petroleum Company, how can we bring the banks, directors, MDs, and mining companies, USCID, WHO. So you have maybe every 6 months you come and the board chairman, the executive secretary now produces the state of affairs and the limitations financially. And then you are now asking Anglo Ashanti, we need gene inspect, we need this, can you help us? So that's, if we can get that structure as part of the institution and get these people to get involved, we are most likely to have an established body of funders for TB. And that is a struggle I think should be done. The other thing would be probably to look at how we need to rework how we do elections, because it is becoming clear that the civil society electoral processes are full of rancor and they are giving us problems. If you ask me, we need to begin to look at how we do it at Geneva level. Competent people can still be elected without going to a form of the kind of balloting we do, the kind of campaign we do. Very experienced people apply for it, maybe at some committee. The committee looks at it and then they select the best candidate, the person is announced to become the chair. in grants, rather than we going to look for come and pay dues, come and pay. And for me, if you ask me again, we don't need dues payment in the stocks partnership. The dues payment gives people some unnecessary voice that are messing up the growth of the partnership. And so, if you ask me, the secretariat should be able to be strong enough to pull resources from where they can pull them. But that's why they are paid. And then people who are ready with capacity across the country are given the opportunity to implement programs they have to implement. So we don't end up making the thinking of ownership. I'm a paid member, and then the petitioning, and if you ask me, we need to find a way to rework the constitution to tone down the things that bring these things up. For example, you will be talking about petitions that happen if we didn't have a constitution that was talking about payment of dues at a certain point in time and all of that. So we can still work without dues. And if you ask me, some of these things may have to be changed. And maybe the last thing I mentioned about my voice is that the working out of the constitution, the standing committees. See, when the board changes, so you see, when I say we don't need to do election, what it also means is that we don't need a wipe away of all board members, and new people come on the stage. So they can be reshuffling of the board. Somebody is now with his term of office at a different time, is replaced, and that's how it's done at the general level. So you don't have a situation where all of you one day will just go away, and before you realize, completely system, you understand. And so the same way, the standing committees formation must have a different policy, so that you don't also have a situation where all members of the committee at a point in time are new. There must always be a way of changing people, and so you have a newer person coming in, an older person around, and then knowledge transfer is happening. And so we have a system of governance that gives us the opportunity to be stronger, better, less boisterous, less dangerous.
I think you have done justice to the question. You have explained it. You were there as a chairman for all these brilliant things. You have all these brilliant ideas within you. Were you just waiting to assume the position of the Senate Secretary to make these amendments, or you did you put some steps across from when you were a chairman to ensure that when one day you are doing the law, you must say yes, you are able to bring all these beautiful things. I'm asking so it doesn't appear as if it's only when you become the secretary that's the tenacity to bring change erupts. What has been the track over the time?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Chairman. I think if you see, the constitution of the partnership was a very small one with a limited structure. And so when I took office earlier, by the end of the first term, that is why we had the reorganization of the structure of the partnership. And so if you see the constitution now, we have the district committees we're supposed to have, we have the regional committees that we're supposed to have, and then there didn't used to be committees.
You mean the standing committees?
The standing committees were not of this nature. So the first year gave me the opportunity to find ways and means to see how we can reorganize the constitution, the partnership as a body. Now the reorganization has been done. I have one term to go. It is not advisable for one president or chairman to want to review constitution twice in his term of office. So politically it was inappropriate for me to be the leader that amended the constitution by 2019, and then before I exit in 2023, I'm calling for another. It's not politically correct. I won't do that. So the ideas are good, but the timing for them is not when I'm about to go.
Yeah, but would you agree with me that it's not only the constitution that becomes a guiding principle for our organization, we also have bylaws, we have other operational manuals and what have you. So I guess those operational manuals and guidelines could have captured some of these brilliant ideas moving forward. What do you think?
Yeah, so you will agree with me that the challenge of the structured partnership has been the absence of the executive secretary. And so most of the work has seated on my head. You are attending all the meetings, you are writing all the proposals, because the committees are supposed to write those proposals and are able to do it. And so you are overwhelmed. I mean, you are not paid. At the end of the day, you come to the secretariat, then you sign the salaries of those who are supposed to be working, and then you walk away. And then you go back again because you want your name to remain relevant. You still go back to continue working. And so I've said this before. Time was not there for me to put all these resources together.
Anyway, Madam Beatrice, you are part of us. And Mr. Emmanuel, you are also part of us. In fact, this interview by constitution should have been conducted by me together with you guys, probably with NTP, PMB being part of it. But I've extended it to include my fellow board members so I can give them insight into what is happening pertaining to this very recruitment exercise. And so, on that view, I'll ask Madam Beatrice, will you ask a question or two, if you have? And a tough one, I expect. I don't know why I'm saying that. Yes, but speak up so that the doctor can hear.
I don't have questions, but I only ask one question. Ms. Afreh, what is your motivation for applying
There are two things. I've said earlier that I think I've taken TV as a focus. In this life, you can do many things, but if you're going to be relevant in your life, you need to be focused. And having been with TV for quite a long time, I don't want to shift into different spaces, except if I'm moving into politics or moving into full-time ministry or gospel. And so I want to make mark on the control of TV or of NDT. Apart from that, you want to have a situation where you don't build a structure and then your exit collapses it. If you can play a role that can make sure that what you have planted, you have been able to support it to grow before you move on finally. That's sort of motivation. From that, sincerely, I've received a lot of calls from some of our senior men who think that an exit completely might not be the best. So for a year or two, it will be good so that we see how we can see the structure of the stock partnership at the secretariat level strong. And then when we are moving forward, we are sure that when you look back, the board is solid, the status is solid. The new chairman is running with more joy and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. But I guess your answers are apt, but I still feel that you don't need to assume the position of the secretary to allow you to put all these ideas to play. One, you are old member, we know the resource that you hold. You know what I'm saying? You are also closer to the board chairman, who will give you a leeway, anything you want to do. Don't you think that beside being the executive secretary, you could still have influenced the process somehow?
Yeah, I don't know what to say exactly on this, but
No, you are right to remain silent. But on this instance, I don't want to remain silent.
Otherwise, assuming that we had a strong executive secretary, I will still be there. I mean, it will be about the new chairman wanting to think the way I think. Because these are my experiences coming out of the office and the challenges I've experienced, the travels we've done, the people I've met at the global level, at the continental level, colleagues we have interacted with at various levels. They will tell you this is the way to go. But if you are not consulted, I cannot leave partnership and then push my ideas on the new leader. Just as Professor Ado could not push. In fact, if I tell you what they wanted from me, it's outrageous. So we broke out of that sector. God willing, it's not bad now. We have a foundation we can keep building. And so anyhow, we could still have done it. But since there is an opportunity, for me to even be better placed to be responsible to do it, and then probably also get the benefits of it.
You mean the local fuel you are talking about?
I've worked for partnership for more than
On a zero account.
6 years.
On a zero account.
And sincerely speaking, I'm of course I know how much it's there for, and I'll sincerely not, if it is money, I won't take it. I won't take it because it will not be able to pay anything. But I just hope that with the new capacities that I have, the new networks that I have, which I could have easily pulled to my NGO. Of course, because of conflict of interest, maybe my NGO will not have funds again. But my hope is that I'm able to pull some resources that can let us renegotiate the pay of the executive. Because as it stands, and no serious person will take that for a full-time job. Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said earlier, we are here with the acting executive secretary, and of course, the MD officer, substantive, who is also in the house. You have felt the seat the man is running into occupying. What's I don't know, questions that are running around your mind? What sort of difficulties you think that if he gets on board, he's able to do? I mean, what question do you have for him as a minister, for him trying to get onto the hot seats? I mean, you have tasted it somehow. You're not fully know, but what question do you have for him?
Oh, to be honest, I think everything I could think about has been asked already.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you have no question to ask? Or you are being biased because this man is the guy that employed you? That is why you don't want to ask the question?
Not at all.
But at least ask one question.
I was thinking about like he was saying, Omega is one of the NGOs that is
Conflict of interest.
but he mentioned it too, so that one is also gone.
But the conflict of interest, if you have, come on here.
Because the secretary no more business with the civil partnership. Is that what you're saying?
No, that is where I'm coming in. That is where I'm coming in. But I guess that you could be the lead of the organization. But the moment you step aside, being the leadership of the organization, that is it. Any other person at all can take up the organization and run it. But we'll make sure that because you are the substantive secretary, you don't give an undue advantage to the. But anything normal that goes to every organization could all the same go to the foundation. What do you think about that?
I work with a stronger belief in keeping standards. If I recollect one time on my board, Omega was also delayed the submission of report to the office, and I was the one that says that Omega should not be given. And the executive secretary was surprised, George, no. I said, don't give. If Omega didn't submit report, then the vice chair says, I beg. He said, Chairman, we are talking about your NGO. Is that not your NGO? Yes. That's my NGO. If they are not able to submit the reports on time, they will give them money. And everybody was, since then, no board member can mess up. Because I want money. You understand? I won't listen to. You understand? I won't listen to a plea from the board member who fails to submit the board member. And so, it's most appropriate when people know that you are Omega is your organization is most appropriate that there is a lot of opportunities at other places. Just to make sure that the same will have people. Omega will perform very well, and by rules and regulations, they are giving more money, and then they'll say, "Oh, it's because it is for the executive."
No, that one I don't really agree because already a premise has been set. In law, the moment a premise is set, is taken as a law. We have had 2 executive secretaries prior, substantive funds. we had Kligo, Samata, we had Liniero, or the secretary. The same thing applied to Kligo, being run by by Samata. And so when the precedence has already been set, it's a law. Except that for me, the clarity of the role, like you said, should just be clear. That Omega is doing ABCD, and not because it's doing ABCD or because it's an executive secretary, that is why his organization is doing ABCD. Of course, if it's performance, the MAE officer has shown us how marks are accrued. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a clear cut. So for me, the issue of not, putting your organization on top and there's money elsewhere you can tap into, I'm not comfortable with it. I think Omega is a member. Omega is among the 97 organizations that already are going to roll over. And this list is sent out already. And we have done a call for what we call expression of interest for new entrants. You understand? Which is also an process. And so I think that Omega project should still be running. But we'll make sure, the decision is not for you. The decision is for this house to take. And so prepare yourself. On that note, Honorable Jane, you have listened through. Until you came in, we had just done the intro before you came in, and then I asked my first set of questions before you just came in. Listening through, is there any question that has not been asked that you think that is a burning question that you want to ask? If there is one, please.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Secretary, don't you think we need a particular person to answer to any grievance from partnership members? Like people reporting or asking, so why have I been removed, or what has been the problem, or any other question, any information? I think how do you think those kind of issues will be solved?
Yes, these issues of channeled
Maybe
in
to
particular sector.
don't you think we need a particular person to tackle those issues? Either the executive secretary or the accountant or how else to advance.
Just to begin the board.
Yes.
So, you see, if the committees are put to work, the heads of the committees should be responsible to some of these things. However, because it's programmatic, anything that comes out of the secretariat, it's meant to mean that it is coming from the executive. The same way, anything that comes out of the executive secretary is meant to mean that he's speaking for the chairman. Are you getting it? Because the head of the partnership is the chairman. The executive secretary is the head of the secretariat, which is part of the partnership. So, yes, there can be an officer responsible for communication if we have capacity. And like I said earlier, maybe there's something I haven't mentioned here. I've had a couple of discussions with Geneva, and they wanted to finish an assessment with is there a country called Venezuela? They want to finish an assessment there in another country in Africa. From there they will come to Ghana. And we are looking at how Constructive Partnership Geneva will support the secretariat of the country platform. And out of all platforms across the continent, they have earmarked Ghana, but it is not officially written, so it is not something I can. But then just to say that there are possibilities of we coming to have more support so that we can enlarge the secretariat. Good. And once that happens, one of the key requirements of the Structured Partnership is communication person. It's communication person. So if you see the gentleman who is a volunteer, but he's taken for the purpose of social media communication. But we will need somebody like this who can
always be responsible for documentation on things that need to be sent out on a regular basis. And I believe we can also have sessions. We can always have sessions, online sessions, exit meetings. So if it is possible, like the NGO that have moved, we have a meeting like this, and everybody, you understand why you are being removed and all of that. And sometimes you don't want to name a ship. It's difficult when you are using our platform and you understand. So, but I guess once there is, I can assure you that once I'm a management student, I'm about to finish my MBA with University of South. And change management is one of the modules that are critical to my heart. When we want to bring these changes, you need to pass through certain procedures, certain orientations, so that the people begin to understand that there's a new wave coming, the purpose is for the betterment of all of us, and then we begin to understand. And so I believe we will get there.
So, we are also talking about climate change. Integration. Don't you think we also need nutrition into our activities? Because TB patients need good food.
Yes, I think this question comes handy. and I probably hope you have a reason for asking me particularly this question. But Chairman, you will agree with me that you are deep into climate. Maybe what we need to understand on this table is that Chairman is into climate, and then I am also into nutrition prospects. And so if we put the two leadership together, I believe we should be able to tap into resources coming from nutritional level and environmental level. We should be able to connect with the partners if we do a better resource mobilization strategy, which will be one of the things. If you remember the indicators David Kwesi was asking, the deliverables, one of them says we need to have fundraising accommodation. So I guess we need to look at partners from nutrition, environment, and TV and see how we can match it. And then we can
Okay. Thank you very much, honorable members. This is just the first set of questions. Honorable PM, are you still online, please?
I'm here.
Okay, Dr. Dusipo, you have listened to the questions and answers and all that. Do you still have anything bothering your mind for which you want to ask any further questions, please?
Not bothering my mind, but I'm happy about Mr. Afreh's answers. But there are little things that foster relationship, because we are looking for cases in hard-to-reach areas in communities. So, for the past 3 days, we have been looking for him. There's a steering committee that is a chairperson. Cynthia comes to my office and she's very worried. She said, I've tried Mr. Afreh's number, it's not picking. Yesterday I also tried, but he's doing very well, Mr. Afreh. But some of these things,
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. Okay, but I think,
maybe there are some issues that we don't know. So, my better this kind of relationship over.
Thank you, Chairman and Doc. I've spoken with Cynthia and we communicated. I'm not too sure. I've not seen any call from Cynthia that I haven't picked. We spoke on WhatsApp. As usually, when I'm chairing a meeting, I try to use the WhatsApp to communicate to you. But I believe that that will not happen again. And most of the time, I think I will need to let people know that I will, anytime you call, you don't get me, send me WhatsApp. And then I answer, just in case I'm not in a position to talk at the time. So, Doc, I'm very sorry if you have been looking for me.
Thank you.
And
I'll
taking it up from where Doctor is ending, don't you think that probably there are a lot of loads on you already that is really making your time being a bit scarce, and that is why some of these externalities that also connect with TB case finding, you are not able to attend to them? And do you think those ones will not also prevent you from performing to your best as a sales secretary on this? Taking it from where Doctor is coming from.
Yeah, you're right. The fact is that everything I'm doing is TV. I am not busy doing anything outside TV. That's the fact. I am not busy doing anything outside. If I'm, like Doc is saying, we are planning for the National TV conference. And this is the initial stage. It's not yet out. And it needs me to, we've had a couple of meetings around it already. So Doc, it's all about the team. And you'll agree with me that sometimes it becomes overwhelming and you are tired and you are asleep with it. So Doc, I'm sorry, Chairman, I'm sorry.
All right. It's accepted. It's accepted. For the interim, now we are marking you and matching you good to good to make sure that we take your words for actions, not just words in space. Anyway, I think so far a lot of questions.
I think that is one of the biggest motivation I have. I'm looking at how we can get a lot more human resources into the office with capacity to perform, so that the other higher works which involve more of meetings and strategic decisions and tables, the sales secretary can support the board to attend those meetings. And because technical information is what drives advocacy.
Sure.
And most of the time, if the board is not having technical information, you may be representing, you cannot make breakthrough. And so most of the time, it is good to the sales secretary is participating in some high-level meetings with the chairman and helping with technical information. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Sure.
So that's one of the things we're going to do. I'm sure by the time we get to the close of this year, the staff level should be increasing. We'll try and do how we can connect with the international programs and the National Service Secretariat. Emmanuel and I had a lot of discussions even 2 days ago because national service people were not ready to come to this office because it's far away distance. Yeah. And so now that we are out to have a better location, let's hope that we can have more staff working so that the secretary can concentrate on the higher levels of work, and then we can make more for the partnership.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, do you still have any outstanding questions?
Honorable Chairman, the position is such a very sensitive position and calls for lots of questions. I believe we have only 1 hour to exhaust all our questions, and I think we done with the 1 hour. If I'm correct, and if I'm to ask another question.
Oh, don't worry. About the time we are here, we exhaust all our questions. So long that there are questions for you. Yeah. Because this sitting.
You don't have any question. You don't have to force it.
No, we are not saying that. If he has a question, she asks. And what we are doing is not an exercise in vain. You see, it's being recorded. Yes. All these recordings are things we are going to pick against to match his performance. Yes. Are you getting the point? So any question that will lead him to speak to his performance is good, because on a clip we are going to study this and mark indicators for his job description.
Right. So, thanks very much.
So please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. I don't see my difference because now on the other side of the divide. So
he's not your enemy, no. He's not your enemy.
Dave, with the initially what you enumerated regards to the review of the partnership of governance and technical reports and all that, all those would help with the agenda SR 2027 and agenda PR 2030. As you've stated, as the reason. I want to find out, aside that, what you stated, what pathway do you think could possibly be added to attain the agenda 2027 and agenda 2030, the SR and the PR? That's the first one. The second one would be, I'm not even heard of the endowment fund that the chairman, Honorable Eric Kwabena Agbozo, made mention of, especially during the World TB Day. Thank you very much. What would be your input to propel this to is manifestation taking root, and then for the country to also embrace? So these are my two questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the pathway. I believe when we get to the strategic plan development, a lot of ideas are going to come. I believe when we do the institutional review, a lot of ideas are going to come. If what I've described already is not comprehensive enough, it is probably for us to also understand that we need the power brokers. That's the reason why we are looking at how to strengthen collaboration with parliaments. So how can we strengthen our collaboration with parliaments and the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of the CCM, such that there is a budget allocation for TV. In Nigeria, we have the First Lady, the project of the First Lady is TV. So the First Lady of Nigeria, Tinubu, Mrs. Tinubu, is the TV ambassador. If, for example, John Mahama becomes president, how can we get John Mahama to become a TV ambassador so that she takes up TV, especially among the youth and children? This is a great pathway of all moving resource mobilization. So I'm just believing that when we are looking at the resource mobilization strategy, which indeed is supposed to firm up the endowment fund, we should be able to look at the comprehensive cascade, the power area, private sector area, we civil society contribution. And I've been thinking about how we can take use of the district assembly common fund. It has always been a low area, and it takes how, if we are building our members to environment and nutrition, and we look at local governance, if our members begin to participate in what we call the development of medium strategic plans of the districts, municipal, and whatever assemblies, they can really make input at that level, where these issues of gene experts, procurement activities can be budgeted even at district level. So that when we are able to get that super board that I mentioned, if we have that super board, then you have the Minister of Finance as part of it. You know, the Minister for Local Government as part of it, or the what is the name of the fund? The District Assembly Common Fund Administrator onto that board. You are bringing system holders who are able to take simple decisions that can make money available even at the district level. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. I do a lot of thinking through this, and I believe that if our NGOs we are strong as advocacy body at the national, and we have our regional advocacy committees actively working, and the districts are working, we should even be able to get budget on TV into district budgets. And so, for me, these are all pathways we can use to. And if we are going to say that we have so many resources to solve the gap of TB commodities, the gap of TB diagnostic space, the gap of TB treatment space, the gap of civil society involvement space. We will need to make sure that every stream of fund that is anywhere, if we can hit it at the highest level, and it is programmed for us, or something like that. I guess it's a long journey. We moved TB, ending TB from 2030 to 2035. That means already that we are seeing that we have not done enough system readjustment to finance TB. And so, for me, these are the thoughts that come to mind, which I've been thinking through all along, hoping that resources will come more for advocacy to be done. And I pray that the committees will be ready. And these committees are manned by honorable members like you. So if you become responsible for finance committee, the resource members committee, you should be ready to work with your committee. I hope we are not expecting that the executive secretary will be everywhere, doing everything, though it's not possible. So let's hope that the executive secretary is able to bring some resources. Madam, you are in charge of advocacy. There is some resources there. Can you drive this? I will work on to drive. And then we move. Finance chair, resource mobilization chair. We have this car available now. We have these resources for movement. Can we plan how you visit this office, that office, that office? Then you all come back to the table, we have discussions, we dispatch ourselves. And then gradually, once the systems are working, it's not about one man that is sitting to bring everything. But it is about a system that is being put in place. So we work to achieve ending TB by 2030.
Okay, I think, yeah.
In this case, can we be part of the advocacy for the establishment of public health emergency fund? Because through this fund, we can also access the counterpart funds in our activities. Because public health, TB, all other diseases which are public health related, we don't have the funds for these things. We always rely on foreign support. So as a country, if we are able to establish that fund, I think we can go a long way to help in this direction. So as a TV partnership, if we can also be part of that advocacy, or the name of the public, that is the COVID fund, is changed to public health emergency fund, I think it will help us. What do you think?
I'm very careful to say that, if we are talking about CSO endowment fund for TB, and then you are frontlining at the same time public health emergency fund, you will be conflicting yourself. Because then the public government will be more comfortable with the public emergency fund than something that has to do with TB. Because then the public emergency fund can handle a lot of things. That is inclusive of TB. And so if TB is frontlining public emergency fund, TB is saying that we want the status quo to remain. Because then TB is already not being given a lot of attention. And we want to see how we can streamline a funding towards only TB. And so if you ask me politically, if we are going to go with the TB endowment fund, then we should be careful not to be calling for another fund. That for me,
Our own interest.
you understand? So that means that we are being selfish as a TB organization. But assuming I was with coalition of NGOs in health, perfect.
Yeah, that one.
I should push this.
Yeah.
I won't be pushing TB endowment fund. So I hope you understand my position.
Like HIV, so TB should also have people, that's okay.
If we are not succeeding, however,
Yeah.
but I believe we will succeed.
Most definitely.
We will succeed.
The strategies are clear.
Anytime such fund is supposed to be advocated for, we will put our voice as part of it strategically by saying that that fund is also needed to support TB.
We go for some.
Anyway, thank you very much, Honorable Jane, for adding another twist to the whole discussion. I guess my members here are all exhausted with the questions that they have currently, including mine very soon, because in your answers, you touched on a lot of issues that has, if you like, taking up my questions and get to a lot of the answers were speaking to some of the questions I already had. And so I don't want to draw us entirely back and forward again. And so if members are comfortable that they have had enough questions asked and answered, then I only have to go online to check if doctor, even though earlier said, has nothing bothering his mind, if in case suddenly something has cropped up. So doctor, we are okay with the questions here, and we are also okay with the answers so far here. Are you also okay with the questions and with the answers? If not, you have the floor, sir. Yes.
The last point that candidate have made, take it very, very serious. Look, we are being in this country, this kind of TB, HIV, anytime resources come, then they quick jump. I'm talking about HIV, jump onto it. And then when they want to get more resources, they say it's TB, HIV. Look at the containers at the port. The number of containers for HIV, the number of containers for malaria. Is it fair that just one container, just one container for TB? So we still have no what it is. The point I'm making is that, and take it serious, if you are not careful, other programs will jump in the name of integration, in the name of alignment, and then
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, simply, in the strategic direction, let's fight on our own and let's get resources for ourselves. Because the TB is the epidemiology and the pathophysiology of tuberculosis is different from HIV. The only difference is that TB jumps onto the depressions, and that is what I want to say, and what I'm trying to say, that I like the solution. And moving forward, very good job for us. Over.
Thank you very much, God bless you. I've seen Mark. Mark is there. Mr. Bwaji, you were supposed to have been here. Would you answer why you are not here today with us? Because our members are here. I just called you up to the side, thinking, because I have not heard any, I have not smelled any good scent in terms of any package. And so I was wondering, since he's at the secretariat and you are not here, why are you not here? And what provision have you made? Second, to the members who are at this table, please. Oh no, it's not off record. It's off. Hello, Mr. Mark. Please be a bit amplify your voice, please. Yeah.
I've been at the bank this morning for other transactions to some of our activities. That's why I'm not able to attend the meeting, but I joined online and I was following.
So the second question, what provision have you made for the team as they are here now and about to leave?
Yes, we have a TNT, data allowance for members who have joined online.
And we are here, we are not online. Most of us here are in person.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, honestly, we don't have any budget for this interview. We don't have any budget, but we are looking at getting something for members who have made this interview successful.
And how soon do you hope to push this through?
Hopefully by close of the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. But you have also been a secretariat. We haven't asked any questions on finances and what have you. What is your take? What question do you have for the Executive Secretary? I mean, one last question or two on finances and what have you.
Okay. One time, thank you very much. And I want to thank each and every one of you. My question is very simple to the candidate for Executive Secretary. I just want to find out from him how best he can help the Finance and Resource Committee to mobilize more funds for TB advocacy programs. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. If you have been listening all this while, as you earlier said, that I'm sure you might have heard him talk about some international opportunities and some regional, inroads and some efforts at the local level. So I think in respect to mobilizing funds with the support of the Resource Mobilization Committee, he's already spoken at length on that. But before we conclude finally, probably I'll ask him to add a voice to your question. My brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chairman. So I think we already have one of the activities of this year. We have to do training of the board and board committees. So there's going to be training in resource mobilization. So there is going to be, all members of the resource mobilization committee will be part of that. So then they can be trained. And I think where we are getting to, one of the things that we need to do is to prepare the resource mobilization committee members to be ready to move out of their homes to offices, to move out of Ghana to other countries. Because then it is when you open yourself up to the nations of the world that you need to have a better understanding, you meet people. We have the World Health Conference coming in November. The finance, apart from the chairman and secretariats wanting to go, there should be somebody from resource mobilization going there. And sometimes it is sacrifice. If we are able to get resources from any of our sponsors, donors, or such committee chair or members, it is good business. So that when you go to such conference, all your attention is on which organization do I need, who can give partnership money, who can, and then you can. So I believe it's just that we don't have all the money to carry people everywhere, but once we have started, gradually we should be able to prepare the community to do better. Especially also empowered with a clear strategic policy of fundraising, policy on endowment fund. This endowment fund is beautifully announced already in the chair. What is lacking now is documentation budget. Once the policy is clear, we develop an implementation plan for the policy on the endowment fund. And who will run the implementation plan? It's working with the secretariat anyway. So let's hope that this will be empowerment enough for the community to work. They will need cars, isn't it? We are working with CCM. Let's hope that some God will give us opportunities.
Your guidelines for use of vehicles are yet to be developed. Anyway, thank you very much. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud and very honored that in a very short invitation, you are all able to make it to this very engagement. And to Mr. Afreh, I'm really pleased and highly, I don't know, but that your answers become a kind of a direction to some of us around the table, because the role that you have played over the time, being the chairman of the board, and the number of years you have been in existence has really given you a lot of information that in this small interview you have been able to change out of the things outwards. I was particularly excited when you made mention or the fact that the board currently as it is, we need to have a higher board made up of those DPs, multilateral agencies being part of our board, where presentations of our programming will be made at the session. Then we can see who will be funded. But I think at the collation of entries, if we did that one once by Dr. Benakun, when he was about around 2014. But where we were at the local, at the time I was the MC of the day, and then we had a gathering of all the DPs. They will make a presentation of our way forward. And then we saw where the gaps, implementation gaps were in terms of budgetary allocations. And lo and behold, when presentations were made, I think the various DPs saw where they were pushing some kind of funding. And so a lot of information has come out of you to us. And even though we're interviewing you in the name of interviewing, it's been a full form of a resource that we have been able to get out of you. And I'm very pleased with that. I'm hoping, well, this is not the last part of it, but of course you are the only person that has been intended for the position. So it's more obvious that you are going to get a nod of this team. And then I'm sure we still have to sit down and we have our marking scheme, we'll check what marks came up and what have you. Based on that, we shall get back to you latest by Wednesday next week. Because we really need to know fast. On that note, I thank you very much and I want to dismiss. So you are dismissed and discharged from this day. Except if you have a question to ask us.
Thank you so much. I think it's revealing. It's important for us to have conversations on this stage. And we're going to be working constantly with this board. And this is the board. I guess we can do more talks and see how we can pragmatically begin to implement the talk that we can. So that we all, our hands are there. So we can thank you so much for the opportunity to tell me what I know.
What you know, what you can prove is what will happen when you take a position. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Afreh. So you can take it, you can exit the table as we conclude on our issues. Thank you very much. And well done. See you soon.